Like all dull moments, they crept by without a sound, like a turtle wearing tennis shoes. My business could be described in 2 words: boredom, followed by long periods of monotony. For what seemed like the 100th time, I walked to the window of my office. It was the same seedy street full of the same seedy people in a town that looked like it needed a shave. The Dream Factory, where they say that for every light, there's a broken heart. But I know different. For every light, there's a murder. I decided to call it a day when I saw her out of the corner of my eye. She had the kind of pins that made your heart do a tap dance and your eyes work up a sweat. She was rich, she was beautiful, and in my office she was as out of place as caviar in a soup kitchen. Something about this bimbo demanded etiquette. Unfortunately, something about me forgot that the bottom drawer was open. She didn't bat an eye, but then again, the class ones never do. She looked as though she could use a drink. This was the type of dame who'd be more at home with a silver shaker of martinis at a country club dance. All I had to give her was cheap whiskey in a glass from a gas station giveaway. I needn't have worried. She took to my hooch like a kid takes to Santa Claus. And just about 3 times as fast. After a couple of belts, her backbone went out to lunch, and she unwound faster than the mainspring of a dime store watch. Whoever said beautiful women never snore hadn't met this guy. Compared to her, a rhino in heat was a nightingale. I took this chance to find out who she was. Janice Peyton. Sure. Wife of Seth Peyton, the international industrialist. I heard a noise outside the door, and I wasn't taking any chances. When the wife of a millionaire is drunk as a skunk in your office, you better have a 38 or a good explanation. Fortunately, I had a good 38.
Hold her right there, Mac. You Dr. Stearns, the optician?
He's 2 doors down the hall.
Oh, thanks.
That's the kind of stuff that happens when your office is on the same floor as an all-night eye doctor.
What happened?
I said 2 doors.
Where am I?
I'll tell you where you are, Mrs. Peyton. You're in my office.
Oh, yes. Eugene Harlow. Private Dick.
Private Eye.
I think my husband's been murdered.
Murder's a big word, Mrs. Peyton.
Not really. Only 6 letters. Manslaughter. No, that is a big word.
What makes you think he's been murdered?
He disappeared 4 days ago. This morning, I found these matches from the rendezvous room. What shall we do?
You go home and wait by the phone. Me? I'm going to the rendezvous room. It was in a rundown part of town. It was the kind of joint you'd be glad to be thrown out of. The piano player's name was Roger Galsworthy, and he was like every piano player you've seen in the movies. Pencil-thin mustache, a smile to fade your suit, and he never looked like he was playing.
So, you're a private dick, eh?
Aye.
You're all dicks to me.
Tell me about Seth Peyton.
You mean the millionaire industrialist with a mansion in Beverly Drive, a yacht in Acapulco, married to Janice, a very beautiful redhead with a great pair of gams?
Yeah.
Nothing. All I know is, when he requests a song, I play it. Once I didn't.
What happened?
Good luck, Mr. Private Dick.
Aye. Luck was what I was going to need, and faster than I thought. Well, hello, fellas. What's up?
You the private dick?
Aye.
The boss said to give you this.
Whoever they were, they left their calling card all over my face. They also left these. A book of matches.
Lucas, Twisted Arms Apartments, 12 14th Street.
By the time I got to Lucas's place, my head felt like the dance floor of a flamenco nightclub. The walls in this joint were thinner than the meat on a lunch counter sandwich. Naturally, this Lucas character lived 7 flights up. They always do. I knocked. He didn't take long to answer. I told him who I was. That was my first mistake.
A private dick?
Aye.
You want to know what I think of private dicks?
Eyes. Fortunately, the ground broke my fall. My lucky stars. It wasn't hard. They were all there in front of my eyes. Luckily, I found some matches. They were from a bar across the street. I figured they'd have some answers. I figured wrong. At least I'm consistent.
Private dick, huh?
Aye.
You want to know what we think of private dicks?
Aye. People can get very touchy when you correct their speech. Luckily, I found some matches. They were from the Rock Bottom Hotel. I knew the place. It was the kind of joint where for $2 a night you could get a room, a bed, and a lot of small little friends on your clothes. I figured I'd meet the murderer there, but I figured wrong. I met Janice Payton. What are you doing here?
I found this book of matches.
Room 207. All right, better stand back. Don't move a muscle, Mac. Okay, Mrs. Payton, close the door. And you... Tell me everything you know.
Well, let's see. The Magna Carta was signed in 1215, or... I know that E equals MC squared. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's about it.
Now tell me what you know about Peyton.
Oh, a private dick, eh?
Aye.
Peyton. Off. Mrs. Peyton here figured you for a real patsy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Roger Galsworthy was in it up to his neck.
I figured that.
He was on Lucas's payroll.
What's Lucas's racket?
Blackmail, in cahoots with a bartender across the street.
Is that a front for something?
It's a front for the back.
What goes on in the back?
That's where Payson comes in.
Payson? Who's Payson?
Payson is Peyton, Seth Peyton. And little Janice here was in it right up to her eyeballs. And look out, she's got a gun.
Oh, no. I figured wrong again. It's not true, is it?
It's all true, Dick. So you think you're a smart dick, eh, Dick? So you know what happens to smart dicks, Dick? They end up dead dicks.
Don't anybody move.
I figured wrong again. They weren't going to move anymore. I didn't know what to do with them. I was about to leave when, luckily, I found these matches. Fantasy funerals. Special rates for private dicks.
Aye.